Hi everybody, I'm Jim Harvley of Harvley Architecture in Greenville, South Carolina. Welcome to episode 3 of our web series, Experience in Architecture. As I mentioned in the previous episode, the purpose of this web series is to give you a better understanding of the process involved when a commercial building is built or renovated. For this series, we are following the process of building a new retail building designed by Harvley Architecture in this busy section of Woodruff Road in Greenville, South Carolina. After the steel beams and columns for the roof support were installed, the contractor began installing the metal studs for the outside walls. Now, metal studs come in different thicknesses, also known as the gauge, ranging from 10 to 26. You might be thinking the higher the gauge, the thicker and stronger the stud, but no, it's the opposite. The lower the gauge number, the stronger the stud. In our case, due to the height and based on potential wind loads that may push on the outside walls, we use 6-inch wide, 14-gauge metal studs spaced every 16 inches on center. In some places, such as the framing of the overhang, we use 3 and 5/8 metal studs of 18 gauge. As for the studs with the higher gauge numbers, they are usually installed on the interior walls where they are not affected by the wind loads. After the installation of all the interior studs, the contractor then installs a sheathing board around the entire building. This board is normally 1/2 inch in thickness, and they are usually green in color. In some areas, like where a tenant's business sign will be installed, a 1/2 inch layer of plywood is installed in the place of the sheathing board so that we can attach those signs to the wall. Now, once all the sheathing and plywood boards have been installed, all the outside walls are covered with a vapor barrier. In this case, the brand we are using is Tyvek, and it is white in color. While all this was happening on the outside, workers were also busy on the inside installing the new electrical conduits for the outside wall lights as well as for the temporary inside lights. This is all the work that will be performed on the inside until we start upfitting the unit for new tenants. When that happens, we will be installing more electrical wires, the heating and air conditioning system, new walls, lights, and so on. If you're wondering what's going up on the roof, let's take a little ride up on the cherry picker and have a look. What you're looking at here is a corrugated metal deck that was installed on top of the roof support beams. As you may note, the roof is sloping from the front to the back, where the rainwater will drain out through the small openings and downspouts on the back wall. These small openings are called scuppers. Workers will soon be installing a 3.5 inch hardboard that will provide the required insulation value for the roof. Then they will be installing what we call a single-ply roofing membrane. It's a rubber-top material that will cover the entire roof as well as run up the outside face of the parapet walls and under the caps on top of the wall. This type of roofing material is widely used in the construction industry. The top of the walls will then be covered with a pre-finished cap of what we call aluminum coping. The next step is to install the exterior finished materials. For this project, it will be stucco, brick, and polished concrete block. Now, stucco can be installed in 2 ways. The first one is the older method of installing a metal lathe and then several coats of a cement material. That method is not much in use today when it was determined to be a bit too costly and not completely waterproof. The second method is more commonly used today because it is easier to install and more economical. It's called synthetic stucco, more often known as EIFS, which means exterior insulation and finish system. This method consists of applying expanded polystyrene insulation boards, more commonly known as EPS, to the outside walls. They range from 1 inch to several inches in thickness. And then there are several layers of an acrylic polymer mixture applied to the top of it. This type of stucco is designed to be more water resistant by the use of a drain system in the back of it. It comes mainly in 4 different types of finishes: float, dash, lace, and scrape, with scrape being the smoothest option. The first several coatings are normally gray in color, but the final coat is the color selected for the finish. One of the big differences between the 2 methods is that the traditional stucco can be hard as a rock, but the synthetic stucco is soft. That's why when we design for synthetic stucco, we like to keep it well above the ground to prevent damages from vandalism and from possibly even from vehicles. It's also easy to clean by pressure washing. So this is where we are today. As you can see, the building is almost completed. On the next episode, we will cover the installation of the masonry materials, the outside windows, doors, and the rest of the things that go with this building, and bring this project to a close. I'm Jim Harvley, and thank you for joining us for this episode of Experiencing Architecture.